Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Now, if you've seen early reports by the London Evening Standard or whatever they're called, and definitely on Arsenal.com, the squad has been announced in regards to our tour of Singapore. Now, for those who don't know, pre-season, many clubs go on tour. United are in America. Liverpool, I don't know where they're at. The rest, I don't know where they're at, but people are going to be travelling the four corners of the earth, essentially, because as well as it being pre-season and fitness and all them things needed, it's a great time for commercial and reaching out to fans who wake up very early to watch games and might not necessarily get to see the superstars, the Mesut Ozils, etc. Weekly or see them and things like that. And obviously Asia is a massive footballing continent on the whole. So yeah, I mean, just away from Singapore, the development in the last 10, 20 years of Singapore as a nation has been ridiculous, man. It's a lovely nation. I'd love to go there one day. But moving on, we knew... Well, yeah, the squad's been announced essentially, and we knew who would go, but it's threw up some surprises. Some people are concerned or surprised that Christian Bilic never flew with the boys. He's not been involved with the first team. I mean, obviously he's trained from time to time with them, but Boreham Wood, these two friendlies they've allegedly played, and just before that he's been with the under-23s, and he's in Germany essentially with the youth side, so it's not going to happen for him. Maybe he gets a loan spell. He has missed a lot of football over the last 18 months, and I am very pessimistic now, as I've told you guys previously, about Christian Bilic making it Arsenal, not because of ability, because I feel between the injuries, between our lax approach to his development, to his promotion, I feel for a club that specialises on young players and says they want to develop players, I don't feel there's enough individualisation when it comes to ensuring players develop, and Bilic falls into that category, and he's at a troubled period in his time. He's going to need a season full of a clear run with no injuries, etc. There's a lot of centre-halves ahead of him in the pecking order. So yeah, we knew Bilic wasn't going to go. Carl Jenkinson's not going. Neither is Akpom. Both are sorting out moves away from the club. Akpom's going back to, I believe this is Saint, I can't even say their name, the Belgian club he was on loan at. £2 million. Jenkinson, I don't know if he's got offers, but he'll have to sort out his future at the club. And yeah, the rest of the boys went. No Reine Adelaide, sadly. I mean, that's really annoyed me, people. And I know a lot of you have seen my tweet saying I'm not giving Unai Emery no patience. There's a lot of frustration, man. Like, I know Adelaide is not the player he can be. I know he's got a long way to go. Ultimately, he does need to go out on loan. But I did feel with the way he's been playing in pre-season, he could have flown. Fair enough, Unai, if you've seen him in training and you think he's not currently there, or you just want him to head out on loan and get to his temporary club and familiarise himself there as quick as possible, I don't know. But I see a man that's had a lot of talent the last 2 years. Again, like Bilic, laxed approach, unlucky with injuries, showed promise on loan last year, but now he's got thingy. He's got a year left on his deal. I mean, this tells you he doesn't feature in his plans. I mean, he's got a lot to think about, especially over this last season. And if I'm him, I'm considering departing the club, if I'm honest with you. So yeah. No Akpom either, he's sorting out his move. I don't know if I've said that already. Lucas Perez has actually been included. Now, the 29-year-old, his future's still in the balance. And while I think he might, because Unai Emery and the people around him are Spanish and they're like, it's a different thing under Wenger, he might get a chance to be in the squad. Clearly, the club are open to selling players. Allegedly, Unai wants 2 players, specifically a winger. You'd like to think Lucas Perez, possibly Wells, Jenkinson and Akpom, obviously, and maybe a couple others, even Mustafi, are used to raise funds for the club. So, yeah. Obviously, it's also nice to see young Osei Tutu, Willock, Emil Rose Smith get called up and go with the boys. It's a good opportunity for them to put themselves in the eyes of the manager, to show that if they are called upon in the season, they're ready. Obviously, Willock's 18, 19 now, is becoming pivotal years of his career. He needs to show something. Midfield is very thingy, very congested at this club. And for as much as I like Willock and I've had to defend him after some nasty trolls, obviously, if Reine Adelaide sorting out a loan spell and it's something we don't know, then what can I say, people? But I believe if it was just based on how they've been playing in pre-season, Willock should have been the one to stay at home, to be fair with you. But I did tell you guys, when Jeff got taken off again after coming on the pitch at Boreham Wood, there were a bit of telling signs. I do think he has an appreciation for Reine, but I don't think I personally don't think Unai Emery rates him, to be fair. I'd love to be wrong. I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong. I'm just a man who talks about football. I don't know anything. I don't know everything. I mean, it's just my opinion. I just don't think he rates Bilic and Reine Adelaide high enough. So it's down to them to prove him right. Obviously, it's nice to see Eddie and Ketty are going on the tour with them. I do think he'll get chances this year quicker than people think, and you'd like to think it's a decisive year, because if he proves his mettle, proves he can come off the bench and score goals, or he can be a competent option, or possibly it could even be a 4-3-3 with him, Aubameyang and Lacazette one day. these sort of things, he needs to prove it. If not, he might find his way on loan in January or next summer, because he's now coming into it. For as good as Nketiah is and as much as I like him, he needs to get senior experience now. We don't need to rush him and force him, but what we do need to do is take patience. Sorry, people, I'm watching football. But yeah, it's a shame that he's not there. But Willock, Tutu, and Monreal Smith, and the rest of them, Nelson, I'm happy for you, and just go and do your thing, to be fair, man. And Jeff, I hope you get a good loan spell. Preferably it's in England, but I mean, I'll be open to seeing you return to France. Personally, I do think UNB will depart this club by this time next year, but I'd love to be wrong. Obviously, I'm frustrated with Unai Emery for not bringing Jeff, because you guys know I love young players, but when it all settles down and calms down, I'll be cool again. But for now, guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.